All right, guys, just finishing up my walk. Did a little bit earlier this morning, and then did a little bit of ab work. Rested just a few minutes. Now finishing up. It's rainy, so I got the umbrella. It's hot, real muggy. Feel like I'm kind of walking in the cloud. Got some shorter videos of just some of the fog and then the mountains over. You can kind of, uh, no, you can kind of see the mountains a little bit through there, but it's hard. They're kind of hidden right now by everything. Um, but I do like the walk. The rain's kind of fun hitting the umbrella, so it's relaxing. Same with the kind of just rhythmical nature of step, step, step. So just doing this, again, stress relief. Hopefully it helps out a little bit with fat loss and things too, but just really enjoy it. So hopefully, it's kind of like a little moment of zen for me. Hopefully some of those other videos where it's just the mountains will be the same for you guys. All right, let me get back to it. There we go. There's a nice view where you can see just the mountains kind of right on top of the fog. You might be able to even hear the rain on the umbrella right now too. All right, there's a little bit better view. And I guess I should say it's fog and then the mountains rather than clouds. Our mountains aren't tall enough to be in and out of the clouds. But well, I was hoping the mountains would show up a little bit better, but they're not. But still, kind of like my little nature walk. I just took a video of a hammerhead worm. I'd never heard of those before. I did see 2 deer earlier this morning, but it was too dark to film them. But yeah, they're just out in fields and yards, and they're getting used to me, so they're not running too far or too fast from me when they see me. They just kind of watch me for a while. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little nature walk today. See you next time. Bye. This is a worm I saw the other day walking. Creepy looking little things. I had to look it up because I'd never heard of them before. But they're called a hammerhead worm. I don't know. Apparently you can't kill them, and there's some kind of, they're not necessarily wonderful, but here it is crawling on the road. Seems like the rain definitely brings them out too, because it was rainy the last time I saw them, but there was a lot more. I've only seen this one today. Hey y'all, back again doing my walk. Getting it in the afternoon, trying to get the vitamin D as well. So this is the weekend, so I was able to walk during what's termed solar noon. So that's when you get the most vitamin D. And solar noon and noon don't always coincide, that's for sure. It's based on where you are, etc. for the angle of the sun, and that kind of helps determine how much vitamin D you get. And so like right now, I think it said I'm getting 179 units per minute. So, a decent time out here will lead to a good bit of vitamin D. So that's kind of nice. But hopefully you can kind of see in the background too, some of the mountains and things. But just trying to get some sun exposure. I think the nitric oxide is good along with the vitamin D. And again, when it's the fat loss phase and it's summertime, I like walking some in the morning, some in the afternoon, kind of spreading out the activity. And again, I consider these more the non-exercise activity induced thermogenesis, so the NEAT, just because the walks are very easy and simple. I'm not going very hard, not breathing too hard. Again, there's some hills, so things get a little harder during those. This is going downhill just slightly. Other times it's flat, so it's just a good variation in the terrain. But that's, I think, all I want to say right now. Maybe something else will pop in my head, and then I'll share that too. So I thought of more to say. Apparently I like to talk. Don't tell my wife. Try to tell her a lot of times. I've already used up all my words. So I mentioned, getting vitamin D from the sun and also nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is pretty important. It's used to help dilate our blood vessels, so that can play a role in decreasing blood pressure. If the blood vessels are real constricted, real small, then that same amount of fluid, X amount of fluid going through there is going to be higher than X amount of fluid going through a much wider space. one that's not nearly as narrow. So that can play a big role in things, and I mean, blood pressure is pretty important for a lot of different health issues. Um, the other thing I like about these walks is they really can be like a meditation. I mean, you can do it and be distracted, let your mind wander, and I think that's fine. But I do think sometimes being real focused is a good thing. And I mean, I'll listen to podcasts. I mean, I've got earbuds in now. I'm not listening to things at this moment, but I have been. But that can be really good. Um, and I like that. But I do think being present in the moment is something that we're not very good at. And so this is one way to be present in the moment. And I mean, in this case, I like finding the different wildlife, whether it's snails, slugs, skunks, deer. Definitely keep an eye out for bears. Don't really want to have a confrontation with a bear. But so that's kind of a stress relief too. And again, with the heart rate ranges, it can be a stress relief. So it's part of the reason why I like all this. There's a lot of health benefits coming from these walks. And so, quote unquote, killing multiple birds with one stone is kind of nice.